says, I don't know you. So what brings the knowing about? Now, if you've been listening to me for any period of time, you know that I have taught you that knowing is not informational, it's relational. It's relational, which means that when he said, I don't know you, he's saying, we do not have the relationship you think we have. I haven't said this in a while, but you've heard me say this a lot if you've been watching for enough years, where I used to say to you all the time, you are not the one that gets to decide whether or not you have a relationship with him. He does. He decides what your relationship is. Because I've had so many of you tell me, oh, me and the Creator, we're so close. I'm glad you feel that way. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. He gets to decide that, not you. Because those people that said, Master, Master, Lord, Lord, they all thought, I don't see any other way to interpret it, they all thought they had a relationship with him. Watch therefore, because you do not know the day or the hour in which the Son of Adam is coming. By the way, can all of you end-time fanatics, especially the ones who sell books and videos, all you pastors, preachers, whatever, can you please all shut up? Stop selling, it's going to be this year, it's going to be this week. He said nobody knows. So stop claiming you know. Oh my gosh, it's like an epidemic every year. September 23rd, or, oh, these blood moons, oh, this, that, or the other thing. Listen, some of you think nobody knows is a challenge, like he's throwing the gauntlet at you and saying, I challenge you to figure it out. That's not a challenge, it's a statement of fact. You don't know. It wasn't a statement of fact saying, well, you don't know and you need to figure it out. He says you need to have your lamps full so that you're prepared whenever it is. Nobody's reaping, okay? And nobody's gathering unless he provided the seed. He gave him the talent, which is the same metaphor, and that he should have made something with that talent. Abba gives you the gifts and talents to do what you do to provide yourself with sustenance. So he still provided you, then you had to do the rest. But he still had to provide you. So this guy is confused. This particular servant is confused. He's saying, I know you to be a hard man. You reap what you hadn't sown and you gather what you hadn't done. He says, he's missing the whole picture. You know, Deuteronomy 8, it talks about, hey, he is the one who gives you the power to create wealth. He's the one that blesses you with these things. But yet you still have to create the wealth. He gives you the power to do it. He just doesn't give you the wealth. Look at what he says here, though. He talks about possessing. Everyone who possesses, more shall be given. Who doesn't possess, etc. What does it mean to possess? It means take ownership that it's yours. Not yours that you can do whatever you want with, yours that you're supposed to increase and multiply what was given to you. To do something with, okay? This is all about what I've taught you with the very simple couple of steps of what revelation is, right? Revelation is simply information revealed to you. I'm not talking about the book of Revelation, although it's the same thing. I'm just saying anything that has been revealed to you is simply information unless you do two things. You have to receive it. Well, he said, here's the talent, and they received it. But then the last step is you have to do something with it. And what you do with it is what's going to be the criteria of what you're judged on. This is the basis of your judgment. Because the doing is everything, which is the opposite of what you hear on every Sunday from most places, and you hear that on Saturday from most places too. Because they're not going to tell you that what you do matters. They're going to tell you what you believe matters. But they're the same thing. Because your actions prove what you believe. James tells you that. Your actions are, the things that you do is your belief in action. It's the manifestation in the three-dimensional world, what you believe. It's not complicated. Okay? You can claim you're Torah observant, and then I watch you do this or this and this that clearly is not Torah observant, and then your actions tell me what you really believe. Some of you are really productive in some areas, but lazy in others. Some of you work like crazy and you're making a good living, but your relationships, you're very lazy. You're not putting the work in. Okay? And so your relationships hurt. Some of you have great relationships but have no money, which will hurt your relationships ultimately at some point because you're not working. Some of you have maybe good money and good relationships, but you don't have your vertical right because you're still doing what you want. Those 3 major areas in your life. Are you lazy in any of them? Are you putting in the effort where it needs to be? Because you don't want to hear, you wicked and lazy servant. Why did he call him wicked? I think 2 reasons, right? 1, he did what he wanted. He didn't do what he thought the master wanted. The others understood that the master wanted them to do something with what they gave him. You know what's going to get you in the most trouble? Being distracted. This pray always is about being not distracted about the fact that there's a vertical that you need to be paying attention to, that you have an awareness at all times. Because whatever you're doing needs to be done in the context and framework of your relationship with him. This is not Christianity telling you you need to pray before, you make every little decision of every little thing. You need to be vertically aware about everything that you're doing and every little decision you make and every little thing. Okay? So it's not like when you're going to buy a car, well, is there anything wrong with buying a car in Torah? No. Does he really care what color it is? No. Does he care what model it is? No. But you should be aware that he knows how dumb you are with your finances, and he's watching to see how you're a steward of your finances if you buy something appropriate financially. You understand what I'm saying? The only part of the car purchase he cares about is how you're handling your money. So there's a saying always, as above, so below. Right? We all know that phrase? As above, so below. Let's reverse it. As below, so above. Meaning he's looking at you, how you do below, he's going to know that then you're going to do it above. Okay? Not that we're going above, but do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? As above, so below. Good. Okay? That's when he says this is the way things should be, that's the way it is also in the above. But he's also watching and saying, before I bring you into the kingdom, I expect you to be like the above, but I know as you do below, that's how you're going to do it in the above, so to speak. Can we agree that that makes sense? All right, I used to be a martial arts instructor, okay? And when I taught my students, I said something very important to them. How you practice is how you'll do. So if you're going to sit here practicing faking punching and pulling your punches and pulling your kicks, then that's what you're going to do in a real fight if you have to defend yourself. Pick something that you might think is trivial, have discipline with it, and then now you can have discipline in other areas. There's a former military guy wrote a book. One of the things he said about having discipline in the book was, you need to start every day making your bed. Why? Because it means that you accomplish something first thing in the morning. You start your day having accomplished something that took discipline. It's not a bad thought, okay? I'm not claiming that's what I do. But I'm just saying it's something that you could do, something that you would think is trivial. But you know what? You can feel good and say, I did something. And maybe you're in a hurry, but you do it anyway because that shows you have the discipline. The virgins and the maidens in the first parable, why didn't they have oil? Because they lacked discipline. Why did the people mess up with the talents? A lack of discipline. You don't want to be worthless in his eyes. Oh, we're all God's children. We're all precious in his eyes. When you're a little baby, everybody's precious. At some point, when you get older, you might lose a little bit of that preciousness based on your choices. You may still love your child when they're now 32 and doing dumb things, but they're not so precious anymore. Oh, isn't he so precious while he's screwing up his life and everybody's around him? Not so precious. You still love him, though. I don't think he didn't love the ones he's throwing out. He said, look, you're worthless. Throw them out. Weeping and gnashing of teeth. Who's doing the weeping and gnashing of teeth? The person who realizes, I didn't get away with doing it my way. Okay? They could sing Frank Sinatra's My Way song out here while they're in outer darkness. Above everything else, I did it my way. Well, good for you. That makes you worthless.